Welcome back to the Real South Africa. I am positive that you guys are enjoying this interview of some of our guests who came here. And of course, we would love if you like and subscribe to our channel. Now go ahead and watch the rest of this interview. It's amazing. They're just telling their truth. So we'll see you on the inside.
And so when I got back, I was happy to show her my photo. Just last week, I met her, showed her my pictures, and I said, the food, if people ask us, number one, what was number one? I said, there's a tie, the trip itself and the food. The food was fabulous. I did not have one bad, not one. Not it was the food was awesome. So just the and our friends, we have four friends that are there now. The one said to me, she asked all kind of questions, and I said, it's unfortunate that we don't expand our horizons. We believe what we're told about a place. You have to see it for yourself. Because I'm thinking, like, what do they think? We were going to be sleeping out in the bush or something? I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
said we stayed at a top, and I had to put my pictures out. I'm like, this is our room. And so I
Yeah.
will say, with Tasha coming back, I would like the king suite. I like the king. I like because the apartment it was great, but I'm like, we're not cooking, so I'm just putting that out. But it
No, you
was, yeah,
go
just
ahead.
what people thought it was gonna be, and I'm like, it's because another thing that I did notice, and I worked for the airlines for a bit. I said to go to Africa is more money than if we go here, like let's say London. I says, why do you think that is? I said, it's for a reason. And I said, you need to do everything that you can to get to Africa. Yeah. It's important. I mean, I
It
told
is.
you, I had told Mark, I said, I had been to Cape Town. It was like back in the early 2000s. And just Joburg was on my list. And it was his dream trip. And after we watched your video with Wode Maya, I'm like, let's do it. And that's when we went ahead and started making the plans of these books. And, anybody listening, if you want to pay overtime, you can. They have something new set up, but it's
Oh,
worth it. It's worth
And
it.
then when you get there, do this one thing as a people. You got to take your shoes off, barefooted, and touch the land. You got to touch the land. The land is something special about the land.
Yes, yes. I didn't get to, which is
I
why we
did.
coming back.
I grounded myself to the land, so that's going to bring me back. Take your shoes off.
absolutely. But I think everybody should take your advice. Come, I mean, I would love for most people because we're here and we can control the environment. As far as your arrangements, we can control it from the time you get here, you're not concerned about anything, and then to the time you leave, you're not concerned. But if anybody comes to if you come to South Africa, we got you. You go to other countries, go to Africa. I don't care who you are in the United States, especially if you're black, go to Africa, spend some time in Africa, and you will start feeling free. You will start feeling
Mhm.
cleansed. I mean, a lot of things will happen. It's for us. We're at a point now to where if we have to go back to the U.S. for any reason, so every once in a while we got to get driver's license renewed, or we got to see our people for some odd reason. Just trust me, it's a hard pill to swallow.
It's a struggle.
We're literally like thinking, okay, we got to get our mind right because being here every day and waking up to this sun and just waking up around our people and going where we go with no issues, then to have to kind of like put it back in the box
Ooh.
and then go stand at the American customs counter and he's asking you all these questions. I'm like, I just be like, man, listen, I live in South Africa. I'm just stopping in,
Yeah.
Right,
just stopping in real quick and I'm out. And then
right.
I'm so happy to get back here. And then you go through customs and all they do is just look at your passport and say, okay, see
And
you,
keep it moving.
Right,
keep it moving. Really no
right.
questions.
Yep.
And when we landed, I'm going through passport control. I almost
Yeah.
lost it there, and got to the window, and the guy says, "Welcome home." And I'm like, "Don't cry, don't cry." And so to divert it, I says, "Oh, is that a sales paper?" And he says, "Yes." He says, "Do you want it?" I'm like, "Yes." I can pretend like I live here, and I'm gonna go food shopping. I just tried to not break down and cry so soon, but just from the time we landed, going through passport control, just getting out, and just seeing the sign. There was someone holding the sign, for us to know to go with him to get our car. Car was
Hmm.
nice. Just to drive through, getting to the hotel was nice. Everything I can't. There's nothing that I can tell you that was negative. There just was no negative. But I will say this to anyone watching or who would see this: try to splurge for the 10 day because that spa. I thought we were just going to the spa just to get a massage and then that was it. We did
Mm-hmm.
a massage, we got a facial, we got a manicure, pedicure. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my
it was
god!
6 hours.
Right, we were there all day, and it was funny because Asha sent us a message and said your driver's a little late. I'm like, yeah, we are too, so he doesn't have to rush. We were a little late in the spot because they literally were taking their time.
Yeah.
I never had a vacation like this. It definitely was the best vacation I've ever had. I spent 30 days in Italy before, and I thought that was something. Those 10 days in South Africa trumps any vacation that I've taken, which is why we're coming back. It'll be what, about 10 months?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
people there, the South Africans, they want to interact with one. Their spirit and just their positivity. They're real positive. They're humble, and their culture. They're and
Mm-hmm.
think about it, they're proud of South Africa, and that's what I like. They are a proud people who know who they are as a people, and that's what I
100%.
like. Yeah, and they know
Yeah.
more about America than we
Right. And it was interesting because we met a couple of young people that were like, we want to go to America. We're like, why? I said, this is the gold mine. I'm like,
do.
why?
Yeah,
That's like you
Yeah.
leaving
Y'all in
the
it.
gold mine going to a trash dump. I said it. I'm like, why do you want to go? What's the reason? And I'm telling people, I'm like, look, the cost of living here is increasing. It's things, and Latasha would tell you what I said, Mark, in an email about what's happening here. I don't know if I should
Mm-hmm.
speak it here, but she'll tell you what I said. I'm like, I said, we're literally, we had, I don't know if I told Latasha this, but before about a month before we were headed over, we were just at a little space here in Atlanta called the Beltline. It's very popular. Lots of
Mm-hmm.
restaurants, people walking, running. And we met a couple who was from New Orleans, but they were living in California. And we were just making small talk. And it's like, yeah, we're headed to South Africa. And she was like, hey, did you hear that? They're going to South Africa. And she said to us with fear, y'all might not come back. What made it weird is two other people had said, I don't know, I'm feeling like y'all might not come back. So I said to them, I said, oh, I think this is the December 2024 that you meant it for, not 2023. So I'm already prepared. And my husband doesn't know this, but I'm gonna break it to him. I was like, when we come for those 2 weeks, I was gonna ask him, can I stay an additional 2 weeks to just kind of, look around. He didn't know I was gonna ask him, so now can I stay an
You
additional?
gonna ask him in public so he can't say no, like a
Yeah.
little like Daddy.
I was
Can
like,
I stay at
can I
my
say
friend's
two
house?
weeks? Right. I said, but which just means I gotta really hustle hard in my business this year so I can do it. Because I did look at doing the real estate tour. And I said, oh, I would have to come right back in 3 weeks. So, I'm just trying to figure it out. So I said, you'll let me say another, 14 days. I'll look around and try to figure out living arrangements for us. So
Mhm.
know.
Well, I will say to you this: that conversation has what's the is not a new conversation, and those feelings aren't crazy. No people around you who hadn't experienced it will not even co-sign on it one time. They won't, and that's fine. I could tell you our story when we came here. This was back in 2012.
Yeah,
This was her second trip. It was my third trip
yeah.
here, and we ended up trying to decide the same thing. So, but we was fortunate because we actually owned our company. So we went to Cape Town for 2 months. We rented a flat, very nice space in Clifton, and we rented it, and just so we can see,
Mm-hmm.
how would
Mhm.
this work. And then we ultimately, came back, and it was another sad.
Ooh.
It was January, no, February.
When we came back,
Yeah,
it was
it was
December.
December.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather. We've landed back in Dulles International
Oh,
Airport in DC. It was ice on the ground. People
oh,
covered.
probably 2 degrees.
Yeah,
literally, it
I'm
was
like,
terrible.
this is insane. Like, who does this? Like, who leaves
Right.
Cape Town? So I do understand. I mean, and so I do understand why people want to stay here.
Yeah.
I do understand why people want to move here. But you will not know that until you come
Mm-hmm.
and then feel it. and then you will do what you need to do. Like you say, you want to save up money, you want to do this. And for us, it took us another 5 years to get here
Mhm.
full time. So we had a fully vetted plan on top of a fully vetted plan to be here, and it's just been working out, perfectly. But and so South Africa be here, but at least you know what a target is. At least you
Yes.
Right.
know,
Yes.
Right, right,
So yeah, and you'll get here, and if you get here properly, you're gonna be like, you know what,
That's
man,
all right.
I'm
That's
doing
all
right,
it.
Yeah.
right.
I
We
right.
think
gonna
I think
we
the
gonna
biggest investment
all the golf
is going to
courses.
be driving. That's the biggest
Yeah.
investment, driving.
No, no, no. It's
No,
easy.
What we
No,
got?
Really?
it's
Okay, okay.
it's
Okay, because that's why I was like, how am I gonna get around? But the
you'll
thing what you were saying, what you just said about when you did this five, you kind of
Yeah,
depressed me because I'm like, I don't have 5 years, sir. I'm trying to get there like within the next year or so.
we
But
said
I
the
know
same
this.
thing.
no, I mean, how whatever
That,
plan works for your family, but we had a quick plan too,
we was
and
like, yeah,
obviously we were like we're gonna go as soon as we can, and as soon as we could took 5 years. But we did have an actual plan, but we had to let our plan work out, and it took
right.
5 years.
yeah,
Gotcha.
But we
And I get it. And I say that, Latasha, because I'm like, hey, things are going here,
yeah, I
it's
feel
just
you. I feel you.
crazy.
No,
So,
I'm
I
with
just said this summer I booked, I got 5 family reunions on the book and I'm like, bring them on. I'm hustling. And
Right.
yeah,
literally everything for me now is I'm hustling Africa because I just got to get back. And I just figured, until we can figure out what we'll do what you said, just rent a flat or rent something until we can find our own place. And Mark, what you were saying is when we talked to our family about it, said we're going, and I actually put it out before he did. I says, we're thinking of
of course.
moving. Oh my God, isn't it dangerous? This, and where you gonna live and all these things. And I'm like, what? And so I
Yeah.
said, and I told him, I says, when it hits the fan in America, don't call us. We don't have room. Sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
I will add this. Go ahead, Tony.
No, I just think the Western media did a number, especially Black Americans, about Africa and South. They did a number because it's mindset of our people is all negative. But I'm saying the people there, for me, but I think what they went through, the apartheid, now I see it's a country that is what I call too big to hate. I mean, the people really get along. The ones I guess that was into that hate and all that, they either are gone or died off or whatever. But everyone we met, even the whites there, were very
Nice.
friendly and nice. And you could tell it wasn't fake.
Right.
It was real.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is a funny story. We were leaving headed because our flight came in direct, but we went back on Virgin from Johannesburg to London and London to Atlanta. And so I noticed coming in and leaving, certain people do not like waiting in line. I'm a rule follower. That takes me
Certain
over the
people.
top. Certain
Certain
people
people. Okay.
from the continent.
I'm said.
And so I noticed, I said, okay, I noticed this young lady coming through saying, excuse me, I'm late. And so I said out loud, "Don't come over here with that junk." And so the couple next to us said, she's coming over here with that junk. It was a white couple. And everybody started laughing. And it's just that oh my gosh, we had a great, I just can't say enough about South Africa. If you're watching, if you're from the States, please travel through the real South Africa because we have friends there now that are what's happening. What do we do? Where should we go? Like I told y'all, who you should have gone through. And they went through someone else. And they're there 10 days and they're doing a drop in the bucket of the things that we're doing. So,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I can't say enough good things. I just can't. Even when
Yeah.
I was talking a minute ago and I almost started crying, like I said, I got 10 months. I'll be there in 10 months.
You tell you guys have been there. Like I said, seamless. All the small things, all the small details, you guys thought it through, and it was seamless.
Right.
It was worry free.
And let Miss Asha know that was the highlight. The whole how she kept us in check. He meet me downstairs. Everything was like so smooth. It was perfect. It
Yeah.
was
But
perfect.
see, and that's where we bring in, we got, we bring in, what we like to call trip managers. So everybody that comes here, like if you're friends with a book with us, they would have a trip manager. But the trip managers are working on both sides of the fence. They're making sure you're good, and they're making sure that the transportation's there, making sure the reservations are squared away. They're literally working, making sure that all y'all have to do is just have fun and notice everything. You know,
We did.
and that's what it is. I mean, even if it comes down to like there's let's say the one of our companies that we use, there's a guide that we like, we're not too keen on that guide, but they might have scheduled it. And then if they say, okay, Asha, the guide is so and so, Asha knows that we don't use that guide. Y'all need to change that because we
Okay.
need our people to have a proper experience and so forth. Like even
Okay.
when 'cause you guys went to Soweto, correct?
Yes.
Yes. We had Mr. Solomon. We loved him.
Yeah, yeah. And you like Soweto. Did y'all get a chance to eat down there?
No, we didn't, because after
Didn't
we
get a chance
did
to eat?
what I did like that we did get to do, Mr. Solomon dropped us off, and the young man that runs the town youth center got us, and
Mhm,
we got to walk through. That
mhm.
was fabulous. We
Yes,
got
that
to walk through the township, and then he told us the history. But we went to Signature Grill that day, and I think that's Rose Bank,
was.
and we ate
Yeah,
there that day. That's what the
yeah.
7 people ate for $350 US. So it was the
Okay.
food was phenomenal. It was really, really good. So yeah, so
Okay.
we I just can't say enough. And what else? Something else
Well,
we also found out that Nelson Mandela's final home was right in the community where we were staying by the hotel,
yep.
and he took us
Hmm.
by to see that. I was like, wow,
But I like Whiptown because you got to see. Okay, Whiptown is the area in Soweto where most of us think of Africa.
right,
Is
Yeah.
where how do you describe it?
the township,
The township
right,
of the I guess the so-called poor people. But those people
was so nice.
us were so nice and so humbling. They welcomed us into I call it their home. We would call it a shack, but they are regular, normal people that's smart, that's bright, intelligent, that's
Just nice
just
people.
nice people. The spirit of them.
They were so happy to see us
Yes.
there. Like you were
Well,
coming
Yeah.
here to visit. We were like, of course, I loved it. And there was some guys were playing music, and of course, I started dancing, and they just got a kick out of that. So we enjoyed from our first day to our last day. We enjoyed everything.
how resourceful they were because I guess when it's time the government turned their back on them, those people are making a way. That was just so amazing.
And we came back saying we have nothing to complain about,
Nothing.
but the traffic in Atlanta. I do complain about
That traffic is a little tough. Let me
horrible.
read this. Let me read this question. Somebody wrote, and I decided to put it up. It says, "Listen, I love what you guys are doing, but do you ever have locals benefiting from the opportunities you create?"
Wow.
Right? And I think people think this is like a one sided thing. Like we come in and then do what we do and leave. We're here all the time, first of all, and that makes a difference. And like for example, the guide that you guys work with, he gets paid because of you guys were there. Through his company. Some of the restaurants that you guys ate at, the ones that you guys have been talking about, um, they get paid because because tourism is not a side industry here in South Africa. It's a main industry. So anytime a tourist, regardless of where they come from, they are impacting all the way down to the individual. Would you agree?
Absolutely down
Yeah,
to the
100%
individual.
janitor. The
Right.
people at the
Yeah.
hotel.
We keep it the whole because we're not only did we so he knows I'm a huge tipper anyway. I went
Hmm.
above and beyond. I kept going back to the ATM like we need more tip money.
Because they were so nice.
Yeah.
Everything it was so kind. We went over and above with our tips. We wanted to make sure we left them feeling like, wow, they care.
Yeah.
So absolutely everyone benefits. It's not just a
Yeah.
one-sided thing. It is we're coming in, you know, spending into the economy, but just getting to just when you meet people, like I said, just our staff at down at Nova, like we had two favorite people, three really, and we was like scoping like who's here today because they were so good to us. Breakfast every morning was our same service. She would wait on us. So
So yeah, they definitely benefit. Actually, She fell in love with him, and she sent him a gift back over. The staff, I'm gonna tell you a story. So here in
Go
Atlanta,
for it.
right? When we go out to a restaurant, the service, the food may be good, but the service by the staff is awful. We tend to think that when we see our people. So going over there, you're gonna see us. We're gonna be the staff. You're gonna wait on us. They are so professional. It's like I can please people go and just the service alone from the people. You cannot judge them by sight. Their knowledge of food, they are professionals. This is what they do. So that's why she wanted to tip so much because we don't get good service here in the States. I'm gonna tell you that right
No,
now.
not even a
The
little
service
bit.
there is
And we're treated here like you should be happy we showed up. And I'm like, you should be happy we're here to spend our money, and that's the kind of service that we've been getting lately. But we're hearing coming down the pipeline that the economy is about to take a turn. Now everybody is on the AI kick. You've heard the story about all the immigrants that are being brought in across the border. They're taking the jobs now. So I'm like, you should have been nice when you had an opportunity. But yeah, we just can't say enough good things about the real South Africa, about the South Africans. And Lasidi, we love that part. So after we left the lion park, it was a full day for us. So after we left the lion park and we did get to feed the giraffe, we loved it. And we went over to the cultural village. I didn't know what to expect. It was phenomenal and the food was good. I just did not have one bad meal.
so I'm telling you how the real South Africa is. So we're at these safaris. They put you in your own. You get the special treatment in the real South Africa.
Very
You
special.
get your own little jeep.
Yeah, we didn't know the lion part was private. She says, you have a private tour. I'm like, wow.
Of course.
So the people in the other jeep would look at us like, who are they?
Right.
I
It's
say,
just two of them.
from the real South Africa.
Right. We were just in our tour guide. I mean, everyone that we encountered, the tour guide, her name was Dusty, and she told us her history.
Oh yeah, we
she's
like
one of our
Dusty.
favorites.
Yeah, he's one of our.
We love Dusty.
They're sisters all
We bonded.
They bonded.
Yeah. Yeah, she
Love
knows
Dusty.
us very well.
What we did see this is how I told Latasha, I said, I watched all the videos, and she said, we don't have that many out. I said, I rewatched it. That was last year. So everything you put out, I have notifications on YouTube, and I watch everything. I'm like, yeah, how that blue? I said, no way. I saw that. I saw the day you put that out, and then I saw your video with you and the doctor going out to tea. So I looked at the hotel. I'm like, we got to win the lottery to stay at that hotel when I saw what it was at night. But it's just everything's top notch, and the reason why that's important because people seem to think that it's not going to be.
Right.
I was grateful to see. I knew what it was like because I had been to Cape Town, but I said I was happy to see that people need to come see for themselves. This is better than America. You'll see why we really want to move there. I mean, as fast as we can. So my husband is cracking the whip like, if you want to go, you got to make this business. I'm literally, if anybody out here, you're in Atlanta, you're having your family reunion, go to Tour Black Atlanta so I can make money.
Yeah.
Go to South Africa.
Yeah. You guys put it out. I mean, top shelf because people in the other jeep are looking over at us like, it's 50 of us in this jeep, and it's just two of them in that.
Yep. Always be that way.
Right.
Yeah,
Always
those are my requirements. My requirements are pretty high for the vendors that we work with. If you think you're just going to put us in a bunch of this is how we operate here at the Real South Africa. I hate to say it, but I've fired vendors, and I've hired vendors, and so the ones that you guys are dealing with. I mean, they know the level. They can't say, okay, let's just stick them with the other 50. No, that don't happen.
Right.
And that's why they made sure. That's why you had Dusty, because Dusty's one of our preferred
We love
ones.
Dusty. We love that. And we love Bernard, too.
Bernard.
And we love Bernard at We loved him. The funny thing when you talk about that, Mark, that's important. So my car had to have some repairs, and I got an Uber last week to go pick up a rental car until my car's done. And I got in, and the guy had this hip hop, and I'm like, nope, I can't do it. And I said, hey, did you mind changing it? And he said, it's Pandora. And I'm thinking, but I'm the customer. So when we
Yeah.
got our ride to the airport, the guy that picked us up was so nice. He was playing Kim. Kim is my favorite artist. And I was like, how did he know I love him? And I began to
Hmm.
tell him Kim's story because I actually finished his autobiography on the flight on my way over. And I was telling him about him and stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, people like that, I wish more of these people would definitely come through the real South Africa. South Africa. You can figure it out. I have a friend that is very wealthy, and I says, why don't you come with us? And she says, you going to a tour company? I'm like, yes, there is. She says, I usually do things on myself. I says, you won't want to once you do this. So
Yeah.
she's very wealthy, and I says, you should come and go with. And she says, okay, give me the dates. So I communicate with everyone every week. There's Miss Tasha. And I communicate with everybody weekly and just give them updates. And don't forget, you can go through a firm to pay or whatever. And hopefully, we'll come with a good group this time.
Yeah.
Go through the real South Africa. Your experience is going to be top.
Top, top.
Abs- Absolutely,
Excellent.
and we really do appreciate that because sometimes it's kind of a little difficult because the expectations are so low when even when people call us, their expectations are so low, and we're like, no, you're going to get this, but then they trying to push it back down to this, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that because I'm talking to you. You should be here. You should be doing the
Mhm.
most. But they want, nah, I just need a little room, and if you could just help me. I'm like, listen, you don't want to come to South Africa trying to figure it out. You don't know nothing. You need to
Right.
come here at this level and then do it properly. So then when you leave, just like and I hate to keep saying it, like a lot of these people that you may see on YouTube have been here. I'm just gonna say
Right,
that,
right,
and now they're here in South Africa, still loving life, and they should be. They should,
right,
and because they made a choice to do it the way that we do it, the real South Africa way, and then it's hard to let it go. Would you say?
No, it's definitely hard to let it go simply because once you've gotten the feel for what is possible,
Hmm.
it's hard to go back or to not think forward and say, what else is out there? What else are my other opportunities? What else am I missing? And because we put you in at that level, I mean, I think you deserve it. I think if you can afford to get over here, then that says something about you. And once you
Mhm.
get here, you get to feel what your options are. Then you start thinking about possibilities for your own life. And that's really all we try to do to say, look, thank you for the opportunity. Look at what you see in front of you. Open your eyes, open your ears, you know, network with the people, talk to the people. And once you do that, it opens up so many doors for you. And then you start to think, could I do this?
Yeah,
Is this possible? And once you do that, then you come up with a plan. Like I hear you, your plan is formulating. I love it. You really are formulating a plan, and it's gonna work out.
you
Long
guys
as
are
you have a
smart.
plan.
You're smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You'll
gonna work
figure it
out.
out.
It's gonna work
You
out.
sitting beside you sitting
See where they
beside
put us
Tony.
at.
He ain't gonna let that happen to you.
no,
Listen. So I know a lot of our people like to go where the celebrities. Well, they had us staying at the Halton where Steve Harvey stayed, where they had the Pro PGA Golf Tour. So those are kind of circles of people that they put you around.
and if I can
Yeah.
be honest, with the price, when I told everyone the price, and they didn't say anything, they just says that includes airfare. I says no. I said I understand why it doesn't include airfare because people are coming from so many directions. That's a task. I says, but when I tell them what it included, I'm like they picked us up from the airport, they dropped us off, our drivers, our excursions. I said we basically just even the outings, the grill house on Christmas Day. I said,
Yeah.
we just had to pay our trip and for our beverages. I said, that was included, our tip and beverages, the signature. That I said, there's a lot included. I said, we went to the spa the day before we left. That was included. I'm like, I just have never, and this is actually what I said to Market Safari. I said, you guys curate the hell out of this tour. That's
You
exactly what I
did.
said. You're getting snacks.
Tell me who
Yeah,
said
yeah.
that. He didn't tell me.
I told
Hold
him
on.
that.
Hold on one second. Let me do a shout out to Kinganda. They are a YouTube channel. I don't know if you guys watch them, but you probably need to start watching them. We
He
we we
will.
highly enjoy what they're saying over there with Osei Duke Jackson from Sacramento,
Okay.
and
Okay.
yeah. So, but yeah, it's great that they're watching. We actually watch their stuff,
Yeah.
and so
We'll
forth, just to
start
kind of get an
following.
idea. Yeah, because they are literally they're doing a lot. They're actually talking about the migration of African Americans and coming to Africa and giving us updates of what's going on in different countries.
Telling the truth.
Yeah, basically just
Okay.
telling it
Okay.
like it is. So I would say, guys, if you can go to Kinganda, we watched them as well. So now that I said it, you need to watch it as well.
I just subscribed.
All
There you
right.
go.
You know what I wanted to ask you really quickly before it loses my brain, or I lose it out of my brain, whichever one.
Hmm.
Your friends that left on after 6 days, and y'all had all those days after that, and you talking about this spa. Did you tell them about any of that?
Yes, I
Yes.
did.
He actually played golf with the husbands yesterday. He played golf with them yesterday.
And I
And
told
we
him, I
did.
said, hey man, we had, but now even still, because they got their spa day before they left, and we
Oh,
had played
okay.
golf that day, so it worked out
Oh, okay.
perfect. And he was saying
Okay.
that the lady that gave them their massage, he
Mhm.
has a Achilles heel problem, and he didn't
Hmm.
mention it at all to her. But for some reason, she knew to stay on that Achilles heel and work that nerve and work that pain out of his Achilles heel. And so that was top notch for him. I told him when we went, it was,
Right. It was top notch.
yeah,
So I always get on him, please drink water. You have to hydrate. His masseuse told him at the end, she says, you're very dehydrated. I said, did I not tell you? I mean, so, and I think they did their spa treatment. I don't know. I guess they booked it on their own at the hotel. What we
They
were
did.
saying,
They
right?
did.
They
They
on
did.
their they raved
oh,
about it
yeah,
They
raved
raved
about it. But
about
the
it
ones you got,
in 4 ways.
woo, oh yeah,
Oh my
What was that?
woo.
I like spas, but that it was even hard. I mean, there was so much that sealed the deal. And so I'll tell you a funny story quickly. So the day that he was watching you guys with Walt and Maya, I was coming downstairs. I think I was doing laundry, and I'm like, "Who is this?" And then he says, "They're interviewing the real South African." I stopped when I was doing. I sat down and I watched it, and he toured the house, and Art talked about the house, and ever since then, I was like, we gotta go, not just visit. It just hit me like I want to live there. Hadn't been yet. I've been to Cape Town. So I talked about South Africa so much. He can tell you. One day he's sitting there, and I just kept saying South Africa. Every day it was something. He says, "Why don't you just go?" And I was like, "Excuse me." I said, "So you saying like go without you?" He says, "It's all you talk about. Do you notice every day you just talk about South Africa?" And I was like, "Oh my God, you're suggesting that I go without you?" So I said, "He gonna have to come and see for himself." I stopped talking about it as much. Once he got there, he got to see it. He saw all these golf courses, not just that, but people. Then he got bit by the bug. He said,
Yeah,
now I see it. I didn't have to say anything else. He began to say, okay, I'm just wondering, how are we going to make this transition? How are we going to do things? And on the inside, I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
he'll take care of it. Hey, that's what we do. We take care of things. We make sure
Yes.
things happen.
No, that
But
is
Yes.
100%
yeah,
true.
but I will tell you this. Don't feel bad. We everything that you just said. We've done it too,
Yeah.
and
It's
because
natural
100 years ago,
progression.
it almost feel like 100 years
It was
ago.
150.
We watched the Blacks Without Borders, and I've done a
Mhm.
couple of videos on that as well some time ago, because that one little video that we saw that we probably shouldn't even saw, it just happened to be on TV and we only saw it once, and then we couldn't find it once we saw it because we couldn't believe what we saw. I mean, we watch movies all the time, we watch stuff all the time, and we like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah. We watched that thing and was like, we just looked at each other
I was
like,
like, do you
is
see
this
what
real?
I see?
Like what's going on? And so then I think within a few months later, I was, I was working for the government. I was U.S. Secret Service, and I came in 2010 for the World Cup with Joe Biden, and everything that was in that video I saw on the street. So I was like, whoa. And so then that kind of sparked our interest. So when we put out videos and people see it, and then they come and then they're like, whoa, we trust me, we get it. We get it. We're not, we just see it a lot now because everybody, because you gotta keep in mind, we get all types. We get people who you would be like, oh man, they doing it. They wealthy. And everything in between. But the reaction
They
is
have
this. Everybody's reaction is
the
similar.
same. It's the
People
same.
cry. People get angry. I've been lied to. This doesn't make any sense. I've been working my butt off to get to this point, and there's a 30-year-old guy riding around in a G63.
Yeah.
Like how?
Right.
Like, and they live in big houses, and I'm trying to get that mortgage, stuff like
Right.
that. And but then once we started coming here, and we kind of slowly integrated ourselves into the system, it changed how we operated in the US. So when you start talking about, oh, we're not going to buy that new this, or we're not going to buy that new
You're
that,
not.
we're not going to spend this, we're not. So that's why we want people to come on a trip, because
Right.
if you doing the same things you've been doing, and then try to say you're going to move to South Africa, that's just not going to work. You have to change
Absolutely.
a lot of stuff over a period of time. And that's what we did. We changed a lot of things over a period of time to where it fit for us to just be here full time the way we are. But it wasn't, I think there's some people that's been saying, oh, you guys just moved over there. I'm like, guys, you have no
No
idea
idea.
Right.
of the nights that we've been like, man, can't wait to get over there. And then we like, well, let's just take a quick trip. So we'll do like 10 days, we'll do like 6 days, we'll do like 2 weeks. The employees have no idea where we are. They think that we're in the States, and we just send them a little message on whatever. Oh yeah, we're gonna
Are
be in
you
that.
coming in the office? I'll be in there next. I'm coming Thursday.
Yep. And then Thursday goes to the show.
Never show up.
All you have to do is just keep sending them a lot of tasks and send them a lot of
Right.
emails.
Right.
Busy, and then you just tell them
Right.
you're coming, and you never
Yeah.
show up.
Yeah.
Just don't show.
And I can relate to that. I can relate because here we are just getting back to the US, January the 3rd, and instantly we already have dates. We already have dates of coming back. I get it. I so get it. And when you look at the hustle here, the things that you got to work, the cost of living going up so high, it's like I gotta do more stuff. So having said that, when I say I understand, I just didn't think the bug was gonna hit me that quick. I'm like, I'm
No,
ready to go like now.
Listen,
No, it hit me on the first
listen,
2 days I was here
listen.
back in 2010. Yeah.
The way you're feeling is so near and dear to my heart. Trust me. When you was like, when you say I need to be here, and you cry when you leave, and you get angry when you think about the fact that you're there, and you just stay emotional and you're feeling all the time. You don't want nobody to talk to you. You want to
Yeah.
be left alone. I get all of that. I
Right.
get all.
Let me tell you something about that. The people of South Africa. It's a very cosmopolitan city, Johannesburg. All of the surrounding Cape, we call it the Pretoria,
Areas, right.
all the areas, Sandton. It's cosmopolitan. They got swag. The fashion is they're years ahead of us in fashion. I'm gonna say that
Yeah,
right
we
now.
said it.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
it's so many different kinds of beauty. The men, I know she probably saw some men like, whoa. The men had swag. I was
They
like,
did.
man, okay.
They
And
did.
then the women, it's so many different kinds of beauty. Meaning you got the European style, like in the States, the girls with the lashes and all that kind of stuff. But the natural African beauty, ladies, men, listen. Buy some sunglasses. That's all I'm gonna say.
Look,
If you
was
bring
saying,
your
I'm like,
woman,
She was
like,
pointing out
"Oh,
women.
she's beautiful." The funny part is when we were at the hotel, we thought these were like black people from America. And so I'm just speaking, hi. And they were like, no, we're from Tanzania. I was like, "Yeah, it looks just like us."
But they got so much style
Just
and
the
swag.
style, yeah,
Oh
it
my
was-
goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, guys, we are sleeping over here.
Yeah, we're sleeping. I mean, not in us, But like I said, I came back with the intent for two things. If I find a product that I really recommend, let me tell you what Real South Africa also did for me. It made me take my own tour company. I got to step it up to another level. So I have a new partnership now with the company that's bringing in millions of dollars. I just went and had a meeting just to ask a question about my little stuff, and they said we can use you for this. So that's going to help me make more money to get over there faster. But
And
I try to let people know, even if you want to go on your own, travel through the real South Africa first. That way you
Yeah,
can
of course.
see. Do that first. And if you want to go back again, which I know they will, I know they're going to want to go back again. When they come back again, because, yeah, I could easily say we can go back and do this on our own. We can't. I don't want to. I like being taken care of. I like the way Miss Asha took care of us with those text messages. I like to sit back and just show up. Let me talk about this. I did not expect this. The day that we
Hmm.
went on safari, I did not expect to get downstairs to see a group of people with these bags of food and smoothies. We're like, what? I wasn't expecting. You all knew you're going to need to eat because it's about a two whatever hour
Yeah.
drive there. And I had stayed up that night because I'm a realtor, and I had a closing that was coming up, and it was falling apart. I was up all night working on it, and then that morning just to see they have smoothies for us. They have a bag of food. They had breakfast. I didn't expect that. And I never got to tell you thank you. When I say you dotted every I and cross every T, I was like, you're even feeding us breakfast at 6 in the morning. It was awesome. It was awesome.
you're
Well,
welcome.
you're welcome. You're welcome. And unfortunately for them, it's required. I make
Okay.
sure it's required. This is what is going to. There's a lot of things happening in the background that we perfected. And because travelers came before you, a lot of travelers that have already came behind you, and there's going to be plenty more. So
Yeah.
we will perfect this thing a little bit more and make it a little bit better because unfortunately, I know how we travel normally as Black folk. I know because I'm one of them.
Yeah.
But I see the other side traveling the way that we travel with the real South Africa. Things are taken care of for them. They just show up, with the kids and so forth. I tell you a short story. When I was U.S. Secret Service and we used to go with Cheney, and we would land in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and people would pull off with their. I mean, these are like families pulling in with their planes. I ain't talking about little planes. I'm talking about big planes.
Mm.
Cars pull up. They put the bags in the car and they go off to their mountaintop retreat. And then throughout that time we're there during the holidays, they're getting taken care of. Like you could tell. So I'm like, why do they get to get that? But they get it because they can afford it. But I'm like, we could do that right here in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And so
God did
that's
it.
what we do because we don't. I know how we travel. How much do the hotel room? You get there, then you don't
I
know what
gotta
to do.
split it between. What's your part? What's
No,
your part? What's
no,
this? You have two
no.
beds in the room. I'm like,
We're
we
gonna
can.
sort you
You can
out.
have your own room. It's okay to have your
It's,
own
it's,
room.
it's okay. We're
Yeah.
gonna
Right,
make it
right,
happen for you
right.
right
I
here
mean,
in South Africa.
and the hotel impressed me. Let me tell you the one thing that this is weird. The hotel was fabulous. But when I went to get that night, when I travel in hotels, I'm the girl that's up and down all night. So I always leave the bathroom light on, the door cracked so I can just see my way. Not at this hotel. I'm like, wait, if your feet hit the floor, the lights just come on automatically.
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm like, this is the bomb. I'm like, how can I get this? That literally, and I was like, everything was just so fabulous. It was just good. I mean,
Yeah.
so we'll be back in 10 months. We do have one couple that is definitely coming with us. Is trying to go ahead. My very wealthy friend, her husband died, and it's coming up on 2 years. So I think she's gonna really want to get out. So
Sure.
I'm hoping we have about 6 more people with us. So I just kind of keep you, Latasha, up to date on that. And I did tell them how to go and look and just put our name in the info, the Dowdy group. So we'll see how it works out the second time.
Okay.
We can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
We
guys felt
can't wait.
comfortable around Africans
Yes. But
because
listen.
they don't like us, right?
Yes, they hate us. They hate us. Oh my
So she
God.
had a conversation today. I played golf, which was about 6 hours of golf. She was downstairs with the staff. She done met everybody and had conversation.
Everybody.
When I come down, they asking for, well, where's your wife? Is she gonna come down and talk to us?
I mean, made sure I met everyone and I
And they
talked
were
to
so
everybody.
friendly.
Just nice people. I mean, just really nice people.
But one last thing, the artwork in South Africa. The art is,
Fabulous.
I mean, the art is amazing. I'm
It
just,
Yeah,
is.
man, I didn't buy it.
Yep, it is.
The
It,
artwork.
yeah.
and
And it's
literally, as
all
I'm
over the
sitting
city.
here, I'm looking across at my office, and I have I have an Ernie Barnes piece. I said that's the only piece that's gonna go with. I said, other
Yeah.
than that, and
The
if
art.
anybody knows Ernie Barnes, he's the guy. He played in the NFL, and all the artwork on Good Times in the '70s, that was his work.
Yeah,
So I have one piece. I'm like, that's gonna go with me, but nothing
Yeah,
else.
their artwork over there is,
It's fabulous. I mean,
Yeah.
we can't literally. Oh, look, I already found Mark. You did a video about a place to buy furniture. I'm going to need that. But as I was in the mall, we ran into a store at home. We kind of have
Yeah.
something like that here in the States, but it's not on that level. It's on a high end level. I already picked out a sofa. Tony says this
uh-huh.
might not even be available. I said we'll figure it out.
Yeah. There's always something nice, but
Right.
at least you got a chance to see, because people here in South Africa, we say there's levels to this thing. There's always levels, and it is kind of true. As a matter of fact, it's real
Yeah.
true. And as you spend more time here, you will start seeing it. They'll just appear right in front of you. Oh, there's another level, kind of like a video game. But at least you guys had a chance to see the lifestyle. You
Right.
didn't come here and just be like looking for poverty. You didn't come here looking for the things that they show you on the TV, which some people
right.
actually do.
Come looking
Yeah,
for
come looking for it. They don't come with us because we don't do that, because there are a lot of proud South Africans that are happy that they've been able to come up. Everybody haven't came up yet, but a lot of them have. And you guys were sitting at tables right across from them, and
Yes.
these
Right.
people, most of them were part of that whole apartheid situation. I mean, most of those people you saw at that hotel, all the places you went, they were part of apartheid. They were alive and doing kicking in 1994,
Mhm.
and
Absolutely.
yeah, and so and then now you've been here, you see these people over a short period of time, regardless of what they say on TV, they have moved pretty quickly.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of those persons, Bart Isaac, he was a butler at the hotel. And so
Hmm.
we went one day, our first day, we wanted to go get some money out the ATM. So he drove us there. And so we get there, I'm like, oh, there's the Woolworth. So I said, we'll just go get something, for the apartment. I think that was the first day we moved into the apartment. So not only did he drive us, he gets out, we get our money. And I says, I'll get a few things. He takes the shopping cart. I'm like, no, I can do it. He says, no, I haven't.
Yeah,
He pushed the shopping cart for me.
yeah,
He put everything on the belt and he loaded in the car. And I was just like that. So I always told Tony, I gotta have tip stash when we go, strictly for tips. I mean, he told this story, and I don't think you'll mind. He said, when COVID hit, he took a hit. He says it was a
yeah,
struggle. He says, just so happened Steve Harvey came and stayed there for 2 weeks, his personal trainer. He said, and I was his butler. He said, because of him, I was able to get back on my feet. And that was why I was so into, I'm like, I'm not saying that everybody needs anything, but I just need them to know how much I appreciate how they're going over and above. I mean, just when we would come back from tour, they would be so happy to see us like they hadn't seen us since that morning. It just felt so good. It wasn't fake. It
It
wasn't
wasn't
fake
fake
at
at all.
all.
Yeah. Genuine.
yeah.
Genuine, nice people. So we enjoyed it. Again, if you're listening, please travel through the real South Africa. You're not gonna get anything on the level that we got.
And meet the locals and have a conversation. We've been
Yes.
invited to what we call them barbecue cookout. They call
So
them
the bride,
the bride.
we were invited to 2 brides, but the
Yeah.
day that we were gonna go to one, we were at the spa day, and when I say they took so good care of us, we were running late.
But it's funny. I mean, you mentioned about like COVID. We were here. We were actually in South Africa. Thankfully,
yeah.
because
Yes.
it didn't look too good on that side. We was here. I mean, we was quarantined like a big dog, but we was in our house, and they ran the rules like they're supposed to, and everybody followed. It wasn't even a question. And nobody
Right.
complained about what they said. Even people who didn't have much didn't complain.
Right.
They said, "Stay in your house. You stay in your house. There's nothing you can do." But we could have easily shut down a little bit, and we could have dialed it all the way back, and because we had a great reason to. There was only what one flight, United.
One, yeah, one flight,
Yeah, that one for 193, whatever.
88,
Yeah, yeah,
188.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like, and we know this because there was only one flight coming into the country a week.
Hmm.
Right.
We had people on every flight because we needed tourism to continue to go so people can
Wow.
make money, so they can work and make money, because these companies would land people off big time, but they couldn't lay all the people off, because especially at the Marriott
Yeah,
and all these other places, because we had people that would call us and say, "Is it safe to come?" And we like,
yeah.
"Yes." Even though they were hearing all that in the US and all this, they believed in us. They came and people worked. And so it was great when the pandemic was kind of slowing down, that a lot of the employees thanked us and said, "Thank you for bringing people, because we
Oh
were
yeah.
able to work. We were able." And then the people who came, people just like yourselves, knew the situation was like, "You
Like,
know what, here's a tip.
yep.
Here's a big tip.
Get home. Yeah.
Here's, and I'm like, man, look at us." And all I mean, I'm not gonna say I was crying, but it makes you like, we doing the right thing. We're connecting our
Mhm.
people, and then
Right.
our people see our people and say, "Oh, they need this, they need that. What can I do?" We have people who, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. We got people that came that bought clothes for people,
Took them
that took them
shopping.
shopping. I
Okay.
mean, these are
Wow.
people such as yourselves that
Right.
see
Right.
from Atlanta, by the way, from Atlanta.
Right.
Um, I mean, you come here, you see what needs to be done. You
Right.
see. So like if you get here, people are thinking, "Oh, you just coming in, you're gonna relax, you're gonna chill." I said that. I literally said that. We did everything we needed to do. We sold our company. We was set. We can buy everything we need and just sit down.
Mhm.
But then we saw a need. We were like, okay, we could do this. And a lot of these Americans that are coming over here, are kind of in their own way doing the exact same thing. And so when you guys came, I mean, it trust me, it was some smiling people on this side of the planet thinking, "Man, I'm so glad the Americans are coming," and they want more of us to come. So
Right.
like your testimony will, and get somebody else to come, and it's really just about the fellowshipping, and just like Tony said, meeting the people. So don't come here, because I know, like, I've been to Atlanta enough times, good Lord, or anywhere in the United States. If me and her show up somewhere, ain't nobody gonna talk to us unless we go talk to them, and then they're gonna say,
Exactly.
"Why are you talking to me? Like,
Exactly.
why are you looking at me?" But it is.
Those are
So
facts.
we get Americans that come and that feel the same way, and then all of a sudden they got friends. They're getting invited to brides. They're meeting people, and then they're like, "These people are so nice. Like,
Like,
why
yeah.
Yes.
isn't it like this at home? Why aren't we
Right.
talking to each
Right.
other?"
Right. And
So,
it's funny you said that about you see something, and that we don't want to hold you off because we know it's late. But when we went to we pulled up, and Mr. Solly said, our guy is going to come and get you guys, and we walk through township. So as we pull up, we saw about 7 porta potties all lined up. When we pulled up, a lady had a bucket and soapy water, and she was scrubbing and cleaning it. So he was
mhm,
saying that normally what happens is several families will share it, and they take turns keeping them clean.
yeah,
And so as we go, I tell the young man who took over the Cliptown Youth Center, they run it and everything. And I says, I'm clicking in my head. I said, I know a lot of people that are able to do a project in my head that I'm thinking, which I'm still trying to sort this out. I says, what if, one year he and I went to see, I think Venus Williams, they have these little golf pop-up tournaments here in Atlanta. We went to see Venus Williams play. So when you go to the restroom, they have this trailer with about, you go into it on one side, come out the other. It has about 5 stalls in it. And I said,
mhm,
what if we could get that, something like that here, that we can bring these trailers. You have corporations to sponsor, put these trailers up. And I said, in addition to that, because we got to go to someone's home, we got to go
mhm,
inside their home. And I said, then what if I can even do the same thing with the shower? And he said, that would be so good. He says, because the elders don't realize we use a lot of water the way they bathe, having to fill up the buckets or whatever. He says, that'll say conserve on water. So I already know one of our good friends who's owns a bank. He isn't a banker, he owns a bank. And I'm
Hmm.
waiting I just went to his daughter's wedding 2 weeks ago and I said, okay, I'm gonna give it some space and go, hey, I need money, like millions of dollars, to try to figure out how can we help. I'm like, if I come, I don't want to just take something. How can we help and do these portable toilets and these portable showers for the people to be able to use? Because you know a lot of wealthy people. You're wealthy and you know a lot of wealthy people. We're not on your level, but you know a lot of people. How can we help? So in the background, that's what I've been trying to figure out. I've been looking at prices. How can we do this? And then I said, I'm just going to do a fundraiser and see if I can make it happen.
One more thing
And
too.
go
I
for
think
it.
a lot of people going to Africa, in our mind, we're thinking, what am I going to miss from the United States? Like, what am I going to miss? Nothing. The time zone is different. They had all the TV stations. If you went through the TV, they got everything. Amazon, all of that. I think Amazon even
Yeah.
came from there.
Right.
So it's nothing you're going to miss. Not even if you're a spiritual person, the church service. All of that
It's there.
is all of that is there.
Everything you need, you will miss nothing
Yeah,
here.
you'll miss nothing.
Like I said, I had to have an attitude adjustment because the first couple of days I was back, I didn't like it. I was like, I can't stand y'all. I did not like it. I mean, I'm like, the food is trash, and I'm like, I can't stand it. It was weird. Those first two or 3 days back, I was in a bad attitude. I'm like, and it felt good walking around, and I was like, black people, I'm like, this is the bomb. I'm like, everybody just looks like us. We're not being stared down. I mean, great attitudes. Everybody was just friendly. I'm like, this isn't, I told Tony, I said, this isn't fake. I said,
No.
it's not phony. They're genuine
Yeah.
about how they feel. I said, you're just genuine. Here, you don't get that.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Like I said, we're glad that you guys had the experience. Other people will try to, like, they'll be in the US and they'll be trying to, like, well, it's kind of like the US. And I'm like, it's not like the US. It
No.
might have a lot of stuff, like the US, but this is Africa. And that's the only thing that the US doesn't have. It doesn't have Africa.
Right.
That right there is the one thing that's why we say you need to come and you need to experience it from yourself. And
So
once you experience it for yourself, then you can make any decision. So like when you say, like for example, there are plenty of people such as yourself that they come back through us and because they like
Being taken care
taken
of.
care of. They love it. And then there are those that come back and they're like, okay, let me see if I could do this, but I feel this way because I was with you guys. And
Feel
it
confident.
gives them a little bit of confidence. So now you're not sitting back saying, oh, I don't know anything about Africa. I don't know anything about Africa, or you're just taking somebody's word for it. You got your own words now. And it's kind of hard to talk against yourself. That's just what I've noticed over the years. So but yeah, so it's just a good experience. So I'm glad you guys had the opportunity to come and enjoy it. And now two more people's eyes are open to South Africa, and you guys gonna have, obviously you got a lot of living to do, and you guys probably come over here and do some great, wonderful things, over here on the continent, and you probably never
no,
even thought you was.
pray for us, pray for us.
Yeah, please, because like I said, the first thing I did, Latasha, I'm like, okay, where's the ebook? I got to read it again. I read it, but this time I studied it. I'm like, okay, what do I do? I even said to myself, I said, there's a lot going on here that you probably don't know. I said, I got a little bit of money in this ROA. Trying to figure out how I can shift it over there some kind of way. So
Mhm.
so we're trying to figure, like I said, we're working it out. Can't wait to see you all again in December. We will definitely be there. Latasha explained everything to you. But I told her what's happening here. We were like, we don't know, should we go ahead and book now? But what is it's so unstable. So we can't wait to get back. We can't
Yeah, one thing I couldn't wait to get back to do is to show my pictures of South Africa to my white coworkers. Because I'm just being honest.
That was my ex coworker. She was a white lady. It's like, well, where you at? I'm like in the bushes.
I wanted to show it off And I just want to show it off. And I showed them the regular. I said, listen, this is the common area. They got regular highways.
Yeah,
They got regular cars.
Right.
They got luxury houses.
Right.
They got luxury cars. They got
Everything.
everything we got and
Right.
more. And
Right.
but they got the beauty and the culture. It's something that you cannot do.
Yeah.
You can't. You got to go
Yeah.
experience it and see it for yourself.
Yeah. We absolutely
Mm-mm-mm.
can. And so we can't wait. We just can't wait to come back. We're excited. Like I said, hopefully we'll have a bigger group with us this time. We wanted to come the first 2 weeks of February, but we know people, to work. So we said, well, let's do the same thing we did this time.
Yeah, get it in.
This time we adjusted it the last week of December through the first week of January because we heard that was monsoon season. But I'm like, it worked out for us. We don't know how much rain came in.
Where
They
there
told us that. He says it rains a lot in January.
I'm like monsoon. That's
No,
such a strong
that's
word.
that's right in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what? I said it was fine for us. We didn't have any issues. So we decided the last December in the first week of January. We're gonna come back.
Okay.
Excellent.
Let
Excellent.
me ask you this last question. So when y'all went to the spa, because I think you said you liked the spa, right?
Love
And I know how spas are set up in the United States, and for those South Africans, mostly Asians work in the spa, right?
Mhm.
Did they have a lot of Asians working in the spas here when you went to that spa
No.
day?
What Asians?
It
What
was
Asians?
us.
It was us.
It was
It
Oh,
was all us.
it was all up, and they were good at what they.
From the time we walked in the door, at the front at the check-in, it was all us. All
and they
South
were.
Africans. It was fabulous. They were fabulous. It was wonderful. It was so
I
wonderful.
like that.
And look at
I
how
like
she. Okay, she went and got these nails done before she went south. So when they did her nails, we were looking at the time like we did our
Did the massage and the
first
facial.
and they got nails last. So they wanted to really do her nails. I mean, they took the time to take off all that United States junk that she had
Yeah.
on her
So
hands.
it's SNS. I hadn't got it before, but I'm like, I'll do it. So I'll have a manicure. And they took their time. They were so patient.
It was
They got
two of them
that tongue
were
off. Two
professional.
ladies that did it. And I was like, at home, they would just say, you have to come again. So we didn't get that. They were just so,
Yes.
I mean, y'all, I can't say enough. And we're not, anybody listening, we're not being fake about
We're
this.
trying to hype
We're
this up.
so genuine about everything. I don't know y'all like that, but Mark and Latasha, we love y'all. Because in my head, y'all my cousins, because I watch all the time. I'm like,
We
oh,
watch at least about 3-4 times a week.
yeah, like, and I said, look at them, they out having tea, her and her
Yeah.
other friend. I watch everything and because I have your notification, I'm like, oh, got something new. So I'm always watching and I'm always sharing these videos with everyone to say, see, that first real estate tour you did, Mark, you did it by yourself. You just were going through houses showing us. That's what really happened. And then the next year you did that first one and then you kept doing it. But you just said, I'm going to do a real estate tour. And you were just walking in, showing us houses. And it was good to see the family from California, their new house that they built. I'm like, that thing is cute. So that's how much we watch. That's how much we watch you guys.
Yeah,
You
people.
want the
Oh yeah, we want to do that. So we come back. You want to pet the what was it, cheetahs?
Yeah.
Y'all got off the jeep and you were petting.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
let's do that. So I said, not me. I'm like, I'm the girl. That's
Yes,
me.
you wanna do it.
I said, I want to do it.
All right.
Hey, it's called peer pressure. Peer
Yeah, we
pressure.
want to do that. I was like, oh my gosh.
Good time.
So
good
we
time.
enjoyed it, guys. And we can't thank you enough. Thank you so much.
I'm constantly telling
It was
people, you're gonna go to
thank you.
South Africa, go through the real South Africa.
After.
Yep.
It's
Well,
a
thank
brand.
you for the accolades.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
All right, guys, we appreciate it, and we'll see you guys here in sunny South Africa soon.
Yep, we'll be back. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye bye. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. But yeah, it was great that Kinganda showed up. We've been watching them on YouTube for a while, and so we're glad that they showed up and represented, that part of Africa and so forth. And so I would say go to their channel, Kinganda, just Kinganda. I'm not gonna spell it out, but it's Kinganda. Yeah. Check them out. They're doing great work over there. African Americans are doing a lot of great work on this continent. Hopefully we can get more African Americans over here. But we always say it starts with the visit. I can't stress it enough. And if you come with a proper visit, then you will be able to see what you need to see to make some good decisions on especially amongst yourselves. We do have single people coming through as well. You know what I'm saying? Like we do have like a lot of single people, young folk. Everybody's coming. I don't know. Just like I said, we have a great website. What I like about our new payment plan, I just want to just break that down for you real quick. You know, we have our legacy plan, which is basically what it was before, where you put down a deposit and then you pay on it every month until it's time for you to come. Make sure it's paid for 30 days in advance, and that's kind of like the gist of it, which is still up and running. But we also are with a firm. A firm is actually a great scenario, and people have been using it. People have been booking it. We just got it attached to our website. So when you go to checkout, let's say you wanted to click the full payment, and then when it's time to check out, the firm is clicked. Then you go ahead and say, okay, yes, put in a little bit of information, not very much, and then it would tell you, what your payment plans will be. You could take it up to 36 months. I've been noticing some people got like 0% on the repayment and so forth. So it's just another tool to help you get here. Some people can use it if they wanted to pay their deposit. If they just say, okay, I'm picking my deposit, I want to do a firm, then they could do that. And so that helps as well. And then of course we'll reach out to you and let you know what your payments are for the rest of it. So there's a lot of options to get here. But then of course when you get here, we take care of everything.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and don't forget to hit the notifications button so you don't miss out on all things The Real South Africa. Thanks again.